Well, Danny, it was a really tough game on Tuesday, but you spoke about hindsight previously, and have you had any other thoughts on the defeat a few days later on?
I think that the hindsight would be about the old adage, which we seem to have for every game this season, is we take our 2 chances in the start of the second half. It's a completely different game. Very uncharacteristic of Ethan. I think he's kind of been allowed that one because of his quality throughout the season. You would have probably backed him to score that, and he would have backed himself to score that, and he's disappointed that he didn't. But the disappointing bit was that we allowed them, when they did start to get their foothold in the game, we were really disjointed. They were always going to have a period in the game because they're a superb side, to be fair to them, and you're being in that environment, and they're not a National League club. They're a massive club, and to play as well as we did, when you think that we had our captain was injured, Lewis is out, Mo's out. You got 2 academy boys on the bench, which was great for the club, but it just shows that we've had to put a team together to go and try and get a result. And I thought for large parts of it, we were very, very good. But it's those little finer details, and there's no shame in Tuesday night. But I think after the game, when you're looking at the chances that we had in the times in the game that we had them, it could have been a different story.
And the game's becoming a quick turnaround now when we look ahead to this Saturday now, away to Fylde, another long away trip.
Yeah, big challenge, but looking forward to it. Going into the game full of positives. I think if we can go into that game and play like we played for a large spell on Tuesday night and another large spell on Saturday, I think we'll be fine. I think there's a lot of positives to come out of both those games. Disappointing, gutting to lose both, but at spells I thought we played really well and caused a lot of damage to the opposition. But like the gaffer alluded to, I think it's when the home team does have that phase, when they do have the ascendancy, it's about being strong and being able to weather the storm. And I think that's going to happen. It's going to come. We've got to stand up to that challenge, which I think we'll do on the weekend.
It's becoming something of a 6-pointer now, especially with their result against Dagenham on Tuesday and our result against Notts County on Tuesday. It's becoming all more important this weekend.
Yeah, they're all important. Look, we've got 8 games left and we've got points total to hit, and it's going to sound probably not what people want to hear. I don't really care who those points come against, just as long as we get those points. And the quicker we get the points, the better it is for the club. But we don't go into any game looking at it thinking, this is going to be the game that we can just accept as a defeat. We didn't. We went into Notts County expecting to win. We wanted to win the game, and we're going to Fylde wanting to win the game. And I know that they've had a good result on Tuesday night, and they've got some quality players in their squad that probably would say that their league position would be a false economy, but they are where they are and we are where we are. And the famous 6-pointer, you can call it what you want. The bottom line is you can only play for 3, and that's what we'll be playing for on Saturday.
The gaffer mentioned a few injuries as well that affected us on Tuesday. What is the latest on those injuries?
I think, everyone's getting better, but obviously when you've got 3 key players that were missing, it's always going to be an issue and a challenge for a club with a squad like ours. They're getting better. The question that we will have is bringing them back. If they are carrying something, you run the risk of playing them too soon and then all of a sudden they're not available for the remainder of the season. So I think we've got to be smart. One good thing about our players is they're able to adapt, and we have got players that can play a number of positions, and we can call upon players to sort of come in and do a job, which they have done. But having said that, the 2 games that we won back to back, we were still missing some of those players. And to be honest, I think, like I said, with the 2 defeats, there was large spells of the game where we were on top, we were creating chances, and if we had taken some of those chances from either games, this interview would be totally different. And I think we won't even be talking about the players that are injured. And sometimes that's the difference, it's that small margins. One of those chances in Dagenham, one of the 5 or 6 chances go in. The chance at the start of the second half at Notts County, all of a sudden it's a different dynamic. So that is the difference. So once we get that ball in the back of the net, I think it's about being relentless in terms of our play, and that's the only thing that we've been missing for the last couple of games.
Anwar mentioned having strength in depth now, and we had that with Yanis, who came in for Rancy at the weekend, on Tuesday rather. How do you feel he did?
Yeah, no, he lacks match fitness. And we've had the same conversation about 3 or 4 players already. We haven't got the resources or or the setup to get these guys minutes at the level we need them to be at without actually just putting them in the team and playing them. And it's the same with when you're missing 3 or 4 key players. We haven't got the budget that a lot of these clubs have got at this level. They can just go and sign 4 or 5 players and it doesn't matter. I couldn't believe the amount of teams in this league that have got 25 plus first team players. It's in some ways it's a headache, but when you're in this sort of situation it massively helps you out. But what we have got is we've got a resilient group, and you know, when you're bringing in players like Yanis and that who are coming into the game, they're going to have times when they're going to need to come off and rest because they're not at the level, but we also know they've got the qualities to help us to get the points that we need to get.
And something that's been looking to affect, you know, all sporting events all across the world, even as this coronavirus. Obviously, I wanted to get your thoughts on, you know, what's going on with it and how it's affected the preparation for Saturday's game.
I think every day changes. I mean, every day I'm waking up and I'm looking at the news, and there's been updates around the world, and you know, in terms of travel, schools, and Serie A being postponed. If you'd have told me a week ago, I wouldn't have thought it would have got as severe. But in case of 7 days, it's changed quite a lot, and it's been quite dramatic. And I do foresee maybe some changes to our domestic football. What those changes are is yet to be seen. But you know, if we have another progression of like the last 7 days, you know, anything's on the table.
Yeah, I think that sounding like a NHS health broadcast, I think we just need to all be vigilant on what we're doing and make sure that we're taking care when we need to take care. And I think from our perspective, we can't control it, so there's no real point us worrying about what the consequences might be. It's making sure we look after the players look after themselves, they look after their families, we look after our families. And then what is put on the table, we know that we've at least done what we needed to do. And if there are games that need to be postponed or played behind closed doors or moved, or whatever they might be, we just take that as it comes. But at the minute, as far as we're concerned, we've got Fylde away on Saturday, and all of our players are fit and healthy in the sense of coronavirus, and we move on from there. You just hope that people just take it serious enough that they're sensible with what they're doing with their lives, but not so serious that we run out of toilet paper.
And looking back at Fylde and their preparation for the game, obviously a last minute win against Dagenham Redbridge on Tuesday, obviously that'll give them a lot of confidence going into this weekend's game.
Yeah, I mean, look, everyone loves scoring a last minute winner. I've heard about the game on Tuesday, I've not seen it yet, we haven't been given the footage yet. I think Dagenham would have been disappointed to lose from what I've heard, but the bottom line is that just shows that they have got the players, Fylde, to go and score goals and hurt teams. And I think that from our perspective, we should be full of confidence. Forget results in the sense of talking about what we know we're capable of doing and going there on Fylde, that we can get the result that we want. And it's made a little bit tougher by the fact that they won on Tuesday. Who knows? We'll find out. We'll find out on Saturday.
Are you in with a shot? For more information, click the link below. Click here for the next video and click here to subscribe.